The year is 1977. Apple II shocks the consumers with its mind-blowing color graphics. In cinemas opens the first installment of the Star Wars saga. The king of the rock and roll, Elvis Presley, dies at age 42, while an ex-husband and his pals from the boarding school are living on bread, vodka, cigarettes, and Led Zeppelin music. Meanwhile, in the UK comes out one of the finest achievements of the punk rock, though I wouldn't call the Stranglers strictly a punk band. The title track of the second study album, No More Heroes, is of course one of their greatest hits. Still, there's some misconception about the lyrics. So let's take a closer look at the heroes, or anti-heroes, of No More Heroes. The first one is Leon Trotsky, the man who in the spring of 1918 stood at the head of the nascent Red Army and whose exceptional organizational skills greatly contributed to the Bolsheviks' victory in the tough civil war. The man whom, for some reason, the enemy propagandists like to depict naked. At one point, Trotsky was considered to be the second man in the Soviet Union and a natural heir to Lenin. But he wasn't as capable a politician as he was an organizer and ideologist. Losing to Stalin after Lenin's death, he became gradually sidelined and finally exiled. And if you ever wondered if the communist regime with Trotsky in place of Stalin would turn out less bloody, the answer is rather not. Trotsky was ruthless in eliminating any enemies, which he proved by violently suppressing the Kronstadt Rebellion, the last major revolt against the Bolsheviks. Moreover, he didn't believe in the idea of building socialism in one country, insisting on the need for a global revolution. So with Trotsky in charge, the history of the 20th century would unfold in a much different way. But in our universe, in Mexico, on a hot August of 1940, Trotsky met his end at the hands of an NKVD agent equipped with an ice axe. The beginning of the second verse is where the misconception happens. On some song lyrics website you may find the "Dear Old Lenin", and it seems reasonable taking into account the previous verse about Trotsky. But it has nothing to do with Vladimir Ilyich. It's a reference to Lenny Bruce, a stand-up comedian and satirist stirring controversy in the 1950s and 60s United States. In those prudish days, he dared to touch on such subjects as sex, abortion, race issues, drug use, religion and politics, using comedy for social critique. But America wasn't ready for that at the time. The arrest for obscenity followed, culminating in the trial. The legal troubles and the banishment from many of the clubs led to Bruce's mental and financial decline. Before he could serve his sentence, he died of morphine overdose at the age of 40. Nowadays, his trial for obscenity is considered to be a turning point regarding free speech in America, and many later comedians cite him as their major influence. The third one, Elmire de Hory, created a lot of legends about himself, so it's hard to tell what in his biography is a fact and what's a fabrication. According to him, his career as an art forger started when, after surviving the Second World War, he found himself in Paris. He couldn't make a living from his own art, but he discovered a talent for imitating modern masters. In the following years, changing countries, de Hory sold plenty of fakes to both private collectors and respectable museums. When he was finally unmasked as a forger in the late 60s, he became a celebrity. In the anti-establishment climate of the end of the decade, his widespread forgeries were seen as proof of how much the revered art experts were worth.
I would like to see any expert or any museum director or any art dealer would know which one is a Matisse and which one is by Elmire?
In 1969, an American writer, Clifford Irving, wrote Fake, the story of Elmire the Horrid, the greatest art forger of our time. Not long after, Irving turned out to be a forger himself, as he wrote Fake, authorized biography of Howard Hughes. Both the Horrid and Irving are featured in Orson Welles' F for Fake, in his own words, a new kind of movie, the essay, the personal essay as opposed to the documentary. So there you have it, the protoclass of video essays that at some point blossomed here on YouTube. And as a video essay should, F for Fake raises some very interesting questions, especially regarding the value of art.
One nod from an expert in that piece of canvas would be worth maybe a couple of $100,000.
Questions strangely vital today, when artificial intelligence can create art just like that. And so, last but not least, we have Sancho Panza, the background hero oftentimes getting Don Quixote, a knight-errant, out of trouble. Alright, here we go, the Stranglers, no more heroes.